All right, I'm going to try this again. I got this sharper image little action camera, and I think it's screwing up my SD cards every time I put them in. All right, so the last 3 days the wind has been relentless. I'm gonna go out and do some fishing this morning. It's not going to be so bad as it was yesterday. The wife wanted to go crabbing yesterday, and we're talking 30-mile-an-hour winds. So we headed out to our spot, and I knew the crabs most likely were not going to be there, or at least if we did, it would be pretty limited. But she wanted to go, so we went out, and in some of the part we had 2.5, 3 foot waves. It was pretty gnarly out. So I just kept the boat hooked up. I'm going to run up the road here. I haven't done much fishing. I've been doing more, if you notice, some more on the cooking segments. We went crabbing about a week and a half ago, or something 2 weeks ago. But I had to sit down. I slightly sprained my MCL, and the last 2 fishing tournaments I fished, my knee was pretty. The next day I was feeling it pretty good. It really stunk. So I kind of been taking it easy doing anything. On my boat, I have seats for it, but I usually don't, especially when I'm running the trolling motor. I don't put a seat up. I stand up the whole time. And when you're doing 6, 7, 8 hours doing that, yeah, my knee was, by the end of the day, my knee was really, it was definitely showing. So I feel pretty good. I'm only going to go out for a couple hours a day, and I think it's been pretty cool the last couple of days, but I still think it's going to be frogging time. I'm going to put on my favorite frog. I'll show you that later. I'll show you how I rig it up. And there's going to be a lot of lily pads. So I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited just to get out and do some fishing, just by myself. All right. So stick around, okay? This is Outdoors in Maryland, by the way. Look. Crab in there, look. All right, get him out for you. Good job. Well, I don't know how hard it is to see. I'm getting in my truck, and you notice we were crabbing yesterday, or my wife was in the passenger seat because she leaves her magazines in my truck. Oh my goodness, cosmetology. Man, that sounds pretty interesting. Hollywood just got hotter. I don't know. I think they're full of it. One thing that I do before I put the boat in the water is I always unplug the lights. Sometimes with the hot lights hitting the water and everything, that's why I think a lot of them go out. So I do unplug my lights. They redid this dock. It's like brand new. Really pretty. Really nice. But what isn't nice, and what drives me freaking bananas, is look. Trash, bottles, trash. trash. Fucking slobs, man. It's ridiculous. Just pick up your stuff. Pick up your stuff, man. If you're going to bring it, take it with you. All right, let's go get the frog out and let's go catch some freaking fish. So, this is my lure. This is a Zoom Horney Toad. I'm trying to make sure this is completely straight where your thumb is. Make sure you put where your thumb is. Go in, bring it up through. Make sure she's straight. My favorite frog, Zoom Horney Toad. If you're a buzzbait guy and you think maybe you're making too much noise, maybe too much racket, this is much subtle, and I have a lot of lily pads, and that's where I'm going. Look, lily pads, and they go all the way up, all the way down, both sides. It's just a matter of time. This place does get a lot of pressure. Does get a lot of pressure. But not today. It's only me and another guy out here right now. He's on a kayak. Mr. Security Officer. Oh, there we go. There we go. Ain't that nice? It's a nice one. Ain't that a way to start a morning? Hold on, buddy. You know, I always wonder why the hell do fish chase buzzbait or a frog moving this fast? And one day I was fishing and I watched the frog jump from a limb off a tree onto the water, and not only did he skim across it, he went under it, came back up, skimmed across it, then hopped. I was like, well, hell, that explained everything. And it wasn't slow either. That dude was that guy was rolling across the water. There was nothing slow about it. Now, one thing that I have learned to do, and it's just by trial and error, and that is taking my baitcaster and actually being able to skip. You know, usually, you know, everybody takes that spinning reel and you can skip pretty well, but I'm gonna show you in a second. I've been getting a couple hits here and there. All right, so the whole thing with this, I'll see if I can hopefully I can show this to you. So I learned that I was always loosening this up, and what that does, it really makes this, it really lets it spin. It don't stop it as well. So I usually almost turn this all the way tight, almost all the way tight. You just feel it and play with it. I pretty much almost keep this tight on the one side, all right, not loose, and then I adjust it by my side here. You know how you want to do it, and I would keep it tight. And then, just like anything, learn on a baitcaster, you know you got to practice. If you're not going to practice, don't think you're going to come out here and start throwing this thing. You'll be taking out bird nests most of the day. But if you keep practicing, like I said, if you're already good at it, you never skipped with it, remember, tighten this up, don't loosen it. All right, keep this brake on, and then adjust how you're going to throw it with your side thing, and trust me, that helps a lot. But a nice little Texas rig, Cinco, weightless, you get them short strikes, you throw right back in there with a worm or something slow, and you dig in there, a lot of times they'll come right back and hit it. Why I haven't done it? Because I don't have no worm set up. I got a little wacky rig set up, but I'm not going to throw that. This is not I am not going to torture myself with a freaking wacky rig today. Maybe the sun was up, hot, and I wasn't getting any bites. But the good thing with this, these lily pads are so thick, it gives the fish a lot of cover out of the sun, even though it's blasting. And you can still, I've come up here at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, blazing hot, blazing sun, and still tore them up throwing a frog. But on the other end, oh, there's a bite, there's one, there we go. All right, that's another nice, oh, that's a nice one. All right. And, oh, that's a nice one. Ooh, that popped right out, didn't it? Look at that. See, I love my topwater. Thank you for the fight. Ain't that beautiful? You know, I like this. But the Zoom actually has a bait just for your Zoom Horney Toad. It don't have this thing. It don't have the little point. The point makes it really, really easy to get in. But what I've noticed with this one is that it really, really rips the front end. I use it because it's easy and it still works. But with my other one, which I think I'm gonna go look for it, it just kind of screws in. It's a little tighter and screws in. I've only caught what, 2, and I just had one literally destroy my other one, and it's really ripping the front of this out. And where the other my other one, I can keep using, use this a lot before it actually, I lose the feet before I actually tear this up. So I'm gonna go look through my tackle box and see if I get the other one. If not, I actually got 5/0 hooks. I just might go with a straight hook. I like this a lot, but I think I'm gonna go look right now. Well, I got some 4/0 hooks straight up, but I found my one of my things. If you notice, it don't have the little point that goes through it, and I noticed this does. We'll see. Hopefully, don't call me a liar, but it don't have that long little shank that comes through it. And I've always used these. This is the Zoom Horney Toad one. What I do have is, I thought was a great little thing. I bought this from Bass Pro. And not only is it a line puller, you put your line here and they'll strip the line off strip the line off. But here's a little sharpener. And you can go through this real quick, the little batteries. And sharpen a hook. All right, let me rig this up there, fellas. You know it. You know my crankbait. I got my crankbait on. When we go up on the other end, I'm gonna fish up there. There's a lot more wood up there. I still can't believe, as pretty as it is today, that I think me and another guy's only on this spot today. That's really shocking to me. I haven't seen that other guy. He went really deep up in, really deep. Here we go. That was a little fish. You got it, though. Well, I yanked that little guy out of there. He made a louder splash than them bigger fish that I caught. And I yanked. He was little, but he came right off. I like this spot a little bit. They do got some nice pickerel in here. They're fun to catch. Oh, did you see that? Oh, did you see that? He came right across. Now you should have went in there and threw a worm in there. Right in that spot. You should have just dropped it as soon as you got it. Drop your rod, take a worm, throw it back in there and jig, little worm, anything. Another short strike. I don't have that little barb going through. So you just gotta make sure you find that center. Whoop. And just kind of twist her on. We'll try to make sure it's straight as possible. Straight as possible. It has a little slit there. See a little slit that way. Come up. Now, I had a gentleman, an older gentleman, he rigs it the other way. He puts the slit down and brings it up. What he says, which is true, I still don't fish it that way. So when you bring it the other way, you kind of just pinch it to make it weedless on top. Maybe when I do the next one, maybe I'll show you. And with this, you can see that you see about how high my hook comes out. Well, the other way, it comes through the slit up and exposes more of the hook. So more of the hook comes out, which is good. Then the next one, I'll show you how he rigs it. But that's it. You want it pretty straight. You want them pretty little tails flipping. Very subtle buzz bait. Look, I can only suck my belly in so much. So if you see a big knot here, that's, you know, I ate a small elephant. You missed it. He came back for it. All right, got some lily pads here. Let's throw a frog through here. Oh, did you see? Oh, yeah. Oh boy, did he come out of water for that? But he short striked it. Oh, bad cast. Well, with my battery pack and my SD cards, I think finally I got a couple hours of fishing, some fish on here. I mean, it's pretty messed up when you got an outdoor channel and you go you go out there and go fishing to show, show people techniques and stuff like that, and you can't catch a darn fish. Tree. There's a tree right out here. We're gonna throw past it, bring it by. Here we go. There we go. Hit that tree. As soon as it hit that tree, boom. Little guy. He swiped at it. Man, they're really swiping at this stuff today. Got him in the belly. My pliers. What the hell was that? We got a frog in there? Well, I hope that helped you out. Maybe you've never fished that kind of frog before. Maybe it's the first time you're seeing it, I doubt it. But that's my favorite frog. I probably should have switched and went to a popping frog to where I can actually pause it, because this Zoom frog actually sinks. I could have had one that actually floated, stayed on top and popped it. Might have got a couple more hookups that way. So, you know, sometimes you got to switch, and sometimes I'm a hard head. I think I just liked what I was doing. The crankbait caught one. I had one tug on it. So that's my favorite crankbait, my favorite frog. And when I come up here, I kind of just use them too. I don't know, man. I hope you I just hope to help you out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment. You know the rigmarole. Throw a comment, like it, and subscribe, and share the video. Share it, let other people see it. I'm thinking about trying to give a giveaway. My little small time goal was 150 subscribers, and I'm thinking about giving away, you know, some of my giving some of the Zoom Horney Toads and some of the KVD 1.5s, some hooks, some pitball seasoning stuff, a shirt and hat. I'm working on that, trying to get stuff made up. So I hope you like it. And anything I tell you is go ahead and make sure you get outside, and I'll talk to you later. See you, Maryland.